a little bit more so I can sit comfortably. Today, I am really worried for Blake. So everything felt normal yesterday, I guess I should say. Like nothing crazy was going on with him at work or anything like that. Our communication is pretty freaking good. Like I'm so thankful. His internet's decent. He has a pretty consistent way to talk to me and a way to converse with people back home. Specifically between the hours here in Washington of 11 a.m. and about 2 a.m. is our window of talking. We'll text periodically throughout the day depending on how busy he is at work. And then at about midnight, my time, is when he gets home from work and we can talk on the phone and we can chat and we'll talk until about 2 in the morning, maybe 3, depending on the day. But today feels weird because yesterday we were talking like normal until about 10 p.m. my time. We don't use typical texting. I guess you could kind of compare it to Facebook Messenger. It's not Facebook Messenger, but you can kind of compare it to that in the sense that you send a message to somebody. When that message is delivered, it'll show like a different kind of bubble when it's actually delivered, and then when it's seen is a third iteration of that bubble. So one check mark, I guess you could say, is it sent. 2 check marks means it's been delivered. 2 check marks filled in means it's been delivered and seen by that person. So all of these text messages from 10 p.m. onward just have 1 check, meaning I sent them, but they haven't been delivered. So yeah, I said, I love you so much at midnight. 1 a.m. I said, babe, question mark, frowny face, because he should have been home at that point and I wasn't hearing from him and my messages weren't being delivered. At 1:30 a.m. I said, I'm worried about you. It's almost both of our bedtimes by now and none of my messages are being delivered, which makes me think you're not even home yet. 2:40 a.m. I said, I love you so much. Getting close to 3 a.m. here, so I'm gonna fall asleep here pretty soon. Please text or call me when you get home so I know you're okay. I love you. This morning, 2 minutes ago, at 9:40 a.m. I texted him and said, I love you. It's morning and I'm so anxious and worried about you. Because all of these messages have only been sent. They haven't been delivered. I emailed him. Sometimes he has weird connection issues and we'll resort to email to talk. But I haven't heard anything from email yet. I'll let you know when I hear from him, I guess. We'll know more, I guess, by the time like noon rolls around. I don't know. I'm just... I guess while we wait for Blake to text, which he hopefully does soon, I'll show you some of the changes I've made around the house because Blake is supposed to be home in just a couple weeks now. Oh my gosh, just a couple weeks. I'm so excited to have him home. He hasn't been to Washington in so long and I'm so excited to have a home with him here and I'm really looking forward to it. But in the meantime, because he's coming home so soon, I've been trying to kind of work on getting this place feeling like a real home. And so yesterday I hung up some art, so check it out. So we have these on this wall right here. So here's the kitchen. Walking this way, this is our office over here. But I have these pieces hung up on the wall, and so I just really like the silhouettes. I think they look really pretty. And then the other thing that I hung up was when we were traveling in Venice, we fell in love with these postcards and I hung them up in the bathroom. So like above the toilet, but there they are. So those are all hung up too. Aren't they cool? I think they're so cool. So yeah, we got these pieces all hung up. It took a little bit longer than expected because picture frames are very expensive, and so what I ended up doing was getting a black poster board and measuring meticulously around each painting or art piece, whatever, and using an X-Acto knife and cutting out the picture on black poster board. And so these are not actual frames, but it's just foam poster board. I don't know if maybe this is like kind of a weird thing to do, but it looks good, and it's much cheaper than getting picture frames, and that's all I really care about. This one up top is a little, like the border's a little bit off, like it's a little wider than the rest of it, but you know what? You wouldn't have noticed unless I pointed that out to you. So the other thing that I have to do today is Blake finally ordered a desk for himself to set up his computer. So I have to set that up. My computer stuff is right here. I'm thinking of putting Blake's right there. I don't think he's gonna wanna be by the window, because if he's by the window, I think he's gonna get a pretty bad glare when he's playing games and stuff. So I feel like this would be a better spot. Good news, heard from Blake. He must have sent this at midnight, but it never came through. And for some reason, he must have been having internet issues. I really don't know. Hi baby, I'm back in my room. The internet has been down all morning. There's a power outage on base somewhere, and I think it's causing us to not have internet anywhere on base, which sucks. And I don't think it comes back until 5 p.m. He says he's gonna email me when he gets to work though. So I think why I was so concerned and so nervous was because of the timing of it. He works in area A, right? And he lives in area B. So where he lives and where he works are totally different places, and you have to travel about a half an hour off base each direction to get from point A to point B. The issue with that is that the roads aren't really maintained. They're just rocky. It's basically like off-roading to get to and from work for him. And I don't know, I'm not familiar with the area that he's in, but I do know that there's a military presence there, which makes me think it's maybe not the safest thing in the entire world. And I think that's why I was so nervous, because when I originally texted him the last text before he got off work, that's when my messages were being sent but not being received. And because of the timing of it, it made it feel like he stopped receiving text messages on his way home from work and never got home. And that's why I was so nervous, because I was like, why are my texts not being received? But I'm feeling a lot better now because I heard from him. So I'm sorry for freaking out earlier. Everything is all good. It is Sunday. I didn't say that earlier, but it's Sunday, so we're having kind of a lazy day for now. It has been pouring nonstop. Honestly, it's so nice. It feels like fall. It feels like fall. I'm so ready for fall. I'm so excited. I have so many candles burning. I went to Bath & Body Works and I bought all the fall candles. You already know this if you follow me on Instagram. But right now I'm burning pumpkin clove. Smells so good. And as you can see, I've burned quite a lot of it because it smells so good. Honestly, today's probably just gonna be an at-home apartment vlog. I'm probably gonna clean and prepare for Blake coming home, which means basically I'm working on the office today. I made some protein chia pudding yesterday. It's basically just chia seeds, coconut milk, and some protein powder, and a little bit of Truvia just kind of mixed up in here. I am trying, honestly, I might make a whole separate video on this on my channel, but this might get kind of TMI-y, but I've had a very consistent cycle my entire life. For most of my life, my average, cycle would be between like 30 and 33 days long, which is long, but still within the realm of normal, right? Over the course of the past about year or so, like this year has been crazy, so this could be why. But my cycle's been getting longer and longer and longer, and I'm not really sure what that's about. I think it could be from a lot of different reasons, right? Because cycles are weird like that. It probably has a lot to do with the stress of moving and the stress of traveling and the stress of bouncing from point A to point B, and finally now we are in one place and hopefully it'll kind of figure itself out. But the other thing is that over the course of the past year, I've been eating a lot more plant-based. I'm not really sure what's going on, but my cycles have just been very long lately, like especially long, like we're talking about like 40, 41 days long. I mean, we're still kind of trying to iron out timelines a little bit, but hopefully in the next year or two, we want to probably start trying to start a family. And it would be really nice if my cycle could figure itself out and get back to its old place where it was very consistent, and like I was content with, a cycle between like 31 and 33 days. Like that was very good in my book. But once you get into a cycle that's like 40, 41 days, like that's a little longer than I would like. So I'm trying to get it back down. A long time ago, actually, when Blake was in basics, so this was 2012, me and him actually did keto. It's a high fat diet, moderate protein diet, and low carb diet. And we did that at the time to lose a little bit of weight because Blake he needed to lose a little bit of weight he didn't need to before going into the Air Force, but it was helpful for getting in shape for him to go in the Air Force. And we were doing it together, you know, solidarity and all that. And it worked so well for both of us. We both lost a little bit of weight. Actually, we both lost quite a bit of weight. At the time, my cycles were A+. Like they did so great on keto. Like they truly did everything. My skin was fantastic. Like that was probably the best period of time in my entire life for my skin was when I was on keto. And I think a lot of that has to do with the high fat content of keto, because keto is a high fat diet and a low carb diet, moderate protein. Because keto was so fantastic for my cycle and for my just overall health at the time, I'm trying to like implement a little bit more of that into my diet now. The issue with keto is that it's really, really hard to do keto and also be plant-based because most of the foods that you eat are primarily derived from animal sources. And I'm trying to just like not do that. Like I feel so much better. Like I feel better. Maybe it's not the best for my cycle. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. But I personally feel better when I just eat a lot more vegetables. And so right now I'm kind of just experimenting by making sure I'm eating foods that are just not very rich in like super starchy carbohydrates. So I'm trying not to have pasta right now, and I'm not eating like even very sugary, like especially sugary fruits and stuff. Like I'm probably not gonna have like many bananas or anything like that. I'm just trying to curb that a little bit because I think that's gonna help a lot when it comes to my cycle. And so anyway, long story short, but I made some chia pudding because it's high in fat content. It's coconut milk and chia seeds and a little bit of water to thin things out and some protein powder, and keeps me full. I don't need very much of it. Like this is maybe a half a cup. And then for dinner, yesterday, I made some spaghetti squash pasta yesterday. Couldn't even finish it because it made me so full. It's spaghetti squash with some mushrooms and it's so freaking good. And I made a cashew cream sauce to go with it. I'm not being strict about doing keto. I'm not trying to stay under like 20 grams carbs or whatever, which is what you usually do if you're trying to actually get into ketosis. I'm just lowering the like starchy, extra carby sources in my diet, and hopefully, I don't know, we'll see how that works. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna have some chia pudding, clean up the house, put it together the desk. I'm gonna throw some clothes on here in a minute and clean up a little bit and get ready for Blake to come home.
more spaghetti squash pasta. Yay, with leftovers from yesterday. Plus, what else? Spinach, because spinach is good for you.
Oh, the sun is coming out today. I think we're definitely gonna go out and enjoy that this afternoon. And I think I'm gonna go check on the garden because if you guys watched the last vlog before last? I don't remember, but we planted a garden and I need to probably go check on it and weed it. My parents said that there's already stuff popping up, which like blows my mind. Nature is crazy. Before I sign off here, I don't know if you guys caught it, if you're subscribed to my personal channel, but I uploaded a brand new coffee talk video, which is really exciting because those are some of the most requested videos ever, I think, that I've ever done. And so I created a coffee talk video and uploaded it on that channel. So I will link that in the description bar below and the upper right hand corner if you want to check it out. And for those of you who were like, yes, do a podcast, I also started a podcast specifically for the coffee talk videos. I think we're going to have Blake on there quite a bit. And so I know that we were talking previously about how we could do a podcast with him and I together. And I think that's what it'll maybe morph into a lot more in the future. And but for the first podcast episode that I uploaded on there, it's a coffee talk. And I don't know, I think you guys are gonna like it. All of those resources will be linked in the description bar below, so check those out. For now, I think I am going to sign off here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.